Good morning, everyone. It seems like forever since I last saw you, and I'm glad we're able to communicate in multiple ways while we are working from home. You started before spring break or during spring break. You started working on the next essay. You selected a topic, you took a position on that topic, and you emailed me with those items as well as the ideas that you would have for supporting that topic, as well as ideas about why people might disagree with you. This week, you've been learning about using resources from the Nova Library online to help find sources for you to support the ideas in your paper. Next week, you will be working on the first draft. I wanted to take time today to talk to you a little bit about what you should have in this paper when it's finished. First of all, this is going to be a longer essay than what you've written in the past. It should be somewhere between 4 to 6 pages. It's going to include more than 5 paragraphs. For example, if let's say that you are writing an essay on the causes of the coronavirus, and you had 3 different causes. And in a 5-paragraph essay, you would discuss each one of those causes in a paragraph. However, once you are doing research on a topic, you're going to have more information, which means you would end up with a much longer paragraph. Therefore, what you do is break down that into smaller paragraphs that are typically 5 to 8 sentences in length, because you have added information from your research. So you might spend one paragraph with the topic sentence for that whole topic, that whole cause, if you were writing about causes. The first paragraph would include the topic sentence for the entire section, as well as maybe some explanation, details on the first piece of supporting evidence. Then the next paragraph might be a whole paragraph on the next supporting detail. Because as I said, once you add in quotations and paraphrases, your writing is going to get longer. So that's why we'll have more paragraphs. You can think of this in terms of subtopics instead of paragraphs. So you might have 2 or 3 paragraphs for one subtopic, whereas in a 5-paragraph essay, you would only have 1 paragraph for that topic. Your essay should include a counter argument and refutation. Again, a counter argument is why some people would disagree with the position you've taken. And you would start a counter argument with words like, some people think that, and then your refutation would be why what you are arguing is stronger. And so you could introduce that with, however. I wrote this as if there were one sentence, but you could have a whole paragraph describing counter arguments. Since you're going to be using research in the paper, you're going to be putting information from your research into the paper in 2 ways. You either quote it or you paraphrase it. I want you to be very careful what you choose to quote. You should not have more than 5 quotations in this paper. If you use too many quotations, the paper will not really be your product, but just one quote with somebody's ideas followed by another quote with somebody's ideas followed by another quote with somebody's ideas. It's not a good way to write a paper. Most of the evidence you provide in your essay is going to be paraphrased. Paraphrases provide the same idea that the quotation would have, but you're writing it with your own words and in your own sentence structure. And you must do it that way in order not to plagiarize. Try this. After you read the information you want to paraphrase and you are sure you understand it, turn the source over so that you can't see it. Pretend that you are explaining the information to me or a friend and write down that explanation. Then go back and compare your explanation to the original passage to ensure that you have not plagiarized the author's ideas. Evidence you use, whether quoted or paraphrased, must be documented. And we're going to hang on a second if I can figure out how to move my page here. Okay, there we go. I'll say that again. The evidence you use from your research, whether you quote it or whether you paraphrase it, must be documented. And documentation occurs twice in a paper. It occurs within the body of the essay as an in-text citation. This is a citation that is put in parentheses at the end of borrowed information. How it is formatted will depend on how you write the sentence. Basically, it includes the author's last name and the page number of which the information is located in the source. And we'll talk more about this later. The second citation is a full bibliographic citation at the end of the essay. In MLA style, this page is called a works cited page. You've already done one of these for homework, and I will be looking at them and providing feedback on them for you shortly. Those of you who are in My 52 and have been working on your annotated bibliography, the citations you have found there for your annotations are the type of citations I'm talking about. A works cited page has those citations but without the annotations. Writing an essay with research can seem daunting because you're trying to put together so many different skills and there are so many things to remember. It can help to plan a schedule for doing the paper. You've already gotten started by choosing a topic, taking a position on the topic, considering points that will support your position as well as counter arguments. And now you're looking for sources that give you evidence to support your ideas. You will want to organize that information. People do that different ways. Some people like to print off articles and highlight the information they want to use. Others like to take that information and print it off and then cut up the article so they actually have a physical piece of paper that they use, and they manipulate pieces of paper to get away from the computer as you were putting your ideas together. Some people like to put their information on cards. The one thing that's good to remember as you're gathering information is that you want to make sure that you keep the name of the article. You want to keep the bibliographic information handy so that you will have it when you need to go to document your information. As I said earlier, next week you will be doing the first draft of this essay. I believe it is not due until 2 weeks from today. So you have 2 weeks to work on that first draft. I recommend trying to get your information together first and working on an outline of what you want to put together. And then the first draft you're going to be doing is different from any first draft you've done for me yet. You are going to be doing it in a color-coded format. And the reason you will do this is to help you see the best way to organize your ideas. And we're going to be talking about that in the next video.